What's up, everyone? I haven't made a video in a little while that's actually automotive related. So today what we're actually doing is going to be working on my dad's new to him 2009 Mercury Milan. Now what we're going to be doing on this car today is we're going to install a heated seat kit from eBay, as well as a plug and play remote start kit. So we're getting the car ready for the colder weather. It is upon us, unfortunately. So that's what we're planning to do today, is retrofit a aftermarket heated seat kit. So I'll show you what we got. The kit that we have is a SoJoy. They're on Amazon and eBay. We got this kit specifically because it does 2 seats and it has a single switch that controls everything. So on this switch, we should be able to, it rocks one way versus the other. So it will have 2 controls for each side. Now, we have to deal with all the wiring, which should be no issue. They put a ring terminal on this, which they shouldn't have. We're going to split this out because one of these should be for the illumination, and one should be for accessory power, and then one is constant power. So anyway, we're going to deal with that, and then we have the remote start kit here, which I found on eBay as well. This has the T-harness, so it's supposed to be almost a completely plug-and-play unit. This will then work if we lock the car 3 times. It should start. So hopefully we'll get that to work. So coming around to the inside of the car, I'll show you. This car does have the nice leather seats, and these are factory seats. Some of the earlier models of the Mercury Milan actually already came with heated seats, and we originally tried to retrofit that because the seat over there, the leather was damaged, and we actually got the bottom seat part there from another Mercury Milan and replaced it. In order to do that, we had to buy the entire seat, and so we ended up taking the lower portion as well as the heated seat components from inside the old car, or from the other car, and tried to install them into this car. To do that, we also swapped the AC controls here, but we couldn't actually get it to work. So today, like I said, we're going to be pulling the seats out, completely disassembling them to install that heated seat kit that's back there. And then we are going to mount, hopefully, right here is where we've been planning on putting that switch. So we shall see how it goes. The next step is to get these seats out of the car. Okay, so before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. Okay, so now I'm on the passenger side. I've already removed all 4 bolts, and the only thing left to do is to tip it up, and we need to unplug the airbag connector as well as the main seat connector. Now this one's kind of a pain in the butt because it's a weird style connector, but it's really good for staying connected and making sure you have good contact, but not the most fun to disconnect. There we go. And now this seat is completely disconnected. We'll have to do the same thing on the driver's side. It will have both of those same connections as well. So now we need to just take the seats out and start disassembly. Okay, now we've got the seats completely out. It was a lot easier this time than the first time we did it. I was able to remove the headrest off the driver's seat, and the passenger seat, I don't know if you could tell in the footage, but it actually lays completely flat. So that was super easy to take out, and now we have to clean under here, but we get to start disassembly. There's the driver's seat, and the passenger seat is just around the hood right there. Alright, so we've been working on the seats, and we have the driver's seat is pretty much ready to accept the new heated pads. Here is the base of the driver's seat. This is the original heated seat element that comes through the foam, so we're going to have to pull the leather back a little bit, expose the pad, and remove it there. And then for this one, this was the original seat back, so it didn't have the heated seat element, but we had added it, again, hoping to retrofit it the factory way. But we went ahead and removed that, and we're going to use the original pad that was in there as a measurement, because the pads in that kit are, we can cut them. So we'll cut them to size and get them fit in here. I'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, with this kit, so this one's already cut. This is the new heated seat element, and the old one he just marked here. So this is the back. So you can see the pattern of the original is kind of bigger coils, and they're looped back and forth, as compared to the new stuff is a lot of smaller coils. Not sure how much of a difference that really makes, but this is the line for the back seat, and then if you set that one down on here, you can see the size difference. So it's got a little bit of a difference here, and that's where this piece is already cut. So this is the seat bottom right here in my hand, and the seat back, which this one hasn't been cut yet. So that's what we're gonna do, cut them and then stuff them up inside. Alright, so we've got the seats in. Both seats are fully installed. They are done. I did not show any of the wiring just because it's kind of relatively self-explanatory, and it's going to be a little bit different for every vehicle. I took the power wire and I attached it to the cigarette outlet, and then I used the illumination from the radio and the accessory power also from the radio harness. So now whenever we come in here, if I take the key, stick it in the ignition, and then turn the lights on. Don't know if you can see down here, but that lights up a little bit, and then you can actually turn both of them on, and it rocks back and forth to do that. So each position has two settings. They are not as fast as your standard OEM or factory heated seats. By comparison to my Ford Fusion, these take quite a bit longer to warm up, but they do eventually warm up. And so for the price of it, it's really not that bad, and you can have heated seats in a vehicle that didn't have heated seats. I do think you would feel it a lot more if you had cloth seats rather than leather, but again, it'll eventually warm up, and it seems to be fine. As for the remote start, it is not really plug and play as it was advertised. In the eBay listing, they said you would have this done in 15 minutes. And I had to take apart the steering column here to get a couple of plugs, which were actually plug and play. But the rest of this, there are wires I still need to connect. So this is getting power, it looks like. But I need to connect it to the OBD2 port, as well as the hood switch potentially, and the door switch. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to film that just because most of those connections will be up underneath the dash, and you wouldn't see what I'm doing anyway. So I will get that done and hopefully show you when it is. All right, we finished the car up and everything's installed. The heated seats, I've already shown you, those work. Now for the remote start, it did take a little bit more work to get that to at least function. I had to tap into the OBD2 port as well as the brake switch, which wasn't too bad, but at least now I can show you that it does work. Locking it 3 times, it will start. So the good thing is that it works. I'm also shocked that the lights are on right now, because normally that's something we were looking at, is the parking lights weren't coming on. So right now it's probably only on because the sensor thinks it's dark enough to need headlights. Hopefully that's not the case. If it is,
If it is, then we need to, based on the instructions, we actually have to tap into the headlight switch in order to make the marker lights come on. So we shall see, but anyway, it wasn't quite a plug and play unit as it was described, but it also hasn't been too bad. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.